Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right, folks, let's see what's going on today in the Bitcoin crypto world. We got Bitcoin down a little bit today. We're down to 23,222. We were almost at 24,000 just yesterday. We had to see a little bit of a pullback. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go down below 22,000, to be honest. I've been kind of expecting this. If we go below like 21,000, that might scare me a little bit. But what you see is when Bitcoin takes a little bit of a breather, the altcoins, of course, get hit a little bit harder. You got BNB down 3%, XRP down 3%, Cardano's down a couple percent. I mean, Cardano was at 39 cents yesterday. Now we're at 38. I mean, people are making a big deal about it, but it's, you know, it's a very small percentage. It's 1 penny. Dogecoin basically hanging out where it's been. Matic down 5%, but Matic has pumped so much anyway. I mean, who really cares? Solana's still at like $24. VeChain was still at like VeChain's down a little bit, down 4%, and Theta down to 104. So everything's, Bitcoin drops about $1,000. Your altcoins are going to drop a little bit too. How far will we go? I have no idea. But what I want to talk about is, you guys know I've been talking about Michael Burry. He had a really interesting theory on what's going to happen with the markets. He does not think inflation's over, but he thinks people are going to think it's over. The Fed is going to pivot, and we're going to see a killer freaking bear market rally in Bitcoin and stocks. And then we're going to get some bad numbers, like maybe like 6 months from now, 7 months from now, and that's going to put us into a full-blown recession. So definitely an interesting theory. I read about this a couple months ago, but I was listening to Crypto Banter this morning, and he had this guy on. Who's like a charting guy. His name it was down here somewhere. That's why I was down here. What is his name? Henrik Zeberg. And I looked up his Twitter. He's like kind of like a chart guy. But he's kind of basically saying exactly what Michael Burry's been saying. He thinks we're going to go bullish. He thinks Bitcoin might even have a blow off top. The stock market might have a blow off top, meaning we could be back to all-time highs at some point this year. Then we get the bad inflation number, and then we basically crash. I want to play this video a little bit, and I also want to basically talk about how I'm going to handle the market just in case this does happen. So this is a couple of minutes, but it's really fascinating. I hate Crypto Banter, guys. I really don't like him, but he gets all the good guests because he's one of the biggest crypto channels. So what can you do? So let's take a quick listen here.
Now, pauses. That will just be, the next step in this. Europe and whatever will follow this. So we're going to see an easing of the financial conditions, and as the economy is not in a recession just yet, it will bounce. And when it bounces in that kind of condition, we're going to see people come into the market again, and we got a lot of cash standing on the sidelines.
So one last question. When we get into a recession, do you not think that that's the trigger for the Fed to have to reduce rates and have to start stimulating the economy by putting money back into the economy?
Yeah, but that we're going to see in exactly the same cycle as we've seen, previously. I think it's going to be much, much worse this time around than what we saw during the financial crisis, simply because that we got so much more debt in the system, and nothing has been solved. I mean, nothing has been solved. We can look at European banks and many of the European countries. They are not doing well. And it's, from my perspective, the way I read charts, it's very much clear to me that they have just been bouncing ever since actually the 2008. What will become clear down the line, I think, is that we never got out of the financial crisis. We kicked the can, and then we're going to feel the consequences of this at this point here. So yes, they are trying to stimulate it again, but this time around, I fear, and that's my, the big fear around this decline that we're going to see, the big crash that I expect. Let me see if I can just find it again here. The big one here will be that they do manage to push it into a stagflationary phase, and that is going to be very devastating. That'll be the moment where you cannot hide away in bonds, you cannot hide away in equities, or unfortunately also not in crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, from what I'm listening to you, I'm getting very excited, because if you're telling me that we're going to get another 50% plus in the S&P, I know I can sell the tops there. And if you're right, maybe I'll take some profit at the top, and if it starts going down, then I can take profits all the way down. So I think I'm much more excited about what's the short term than I am obviously for your long term picture. What about Bitcoin? What about Bitcoin? You're saying. I mean, I guess if the S&P flies, that means more liquidity. That means more profits. That means Bitcoin also flies, right?
Yeah, I think we are in this bigger picture of everything comes into that. We have a situation ever since 2008 where liquidity was going from being cheap to being ridiculously cheap, and then the markets will respond to that and take on more and more risk. And we then seen Bitcoin and other altcoins coming out and do tremendously well as liquidity comes into the system. And this time around will be no different from that. Yes, so I do think Bitcoin is going to do tremendously well over this. I do think that 50,000 will be something that will easily be achieved at some point, and then even seeing 93 or even 111,000 for Bitcoin. That's my target here, based on these charts like these, but also others and others calculations. So yes, I do think we're going to see a tremendous move here because of liquidity coming into the system. For as long as the economy is not in a recession, we have to understand we are now in that phase where all of a sudden fundamentals, the macroeconomic fundamentals, are going to mean a whole lot again, and it's not just going to be about liquidity. We haven't had a real long recession like what we saw since 2008, and this one is going to be the one for the history books, not what we saw during Corona.
Listen, my man, thank you so much, guys. If you want to follow Henrik.
Yeah, so that's fascinating. And this is kind of what Harry Dent's been talking about too. He was talking about Bitcoin maybe going down to like $3,000 or $4,000, stock market like crashing to all-time lows and beyond and staying there for years. What a lot of people are saying now is, yeah, that's going to happen, but it might not happen yet. It's not going to happen when we think it's going to happen. It might happen next year or the year after, meaning we could see a major run in Bitcoin, stock market, and then we're going to, like Michael Berry said, we're going to get that shitty number. Like everybody's happy, everybody thinks inflation's over, and then we get like some horrible CPI report, and basically we just go, everybody sells all their shit, and we go into full-blown recession. Nothing goes exactly like you think. The traditional line of thinking right now with crypto is, okay, we're in a bear market, we got the 4-year cycles. This end of this year, we'll probably go bullish again. We'll go back up to all-time highs. But that's what everybody's thinking. And that is what has traditionally happened. Of course, we have the 4-year cycles. But in previous times, we haven't had recession. We haven't had inflation. But Bitcoin wants to go up. Bitcoin and the stock market, people are just waiting to go in. And right now, this whole recession narrative, it's turning positive because the inflation numbers are going down. The Fed is starting to pivot. They're doing the 0.25 for the interest rate. So it's not as bad as what people thought. And you're starting to see people go back into Bitcoin and go back into stocks. The question is, could this just be a short-term thing? We go up for maybe 2023, the first half of 2023, we're bullish. And then we get some really bad news like Michael Berry said. And then we go into that recession. And that's what Harry Dent's been saying too. The way I'm preparing for this is, it really just comes down to taking profits along the way. People have been watching my channel. I know a lot of other people. We've been buying crypto at the lows. We're buying Bitcoin at 15,000, buying Cardano at 23 cents, buying Theta at 72 cents. I mean, you pick your coin. Doge at 5 cents. I mean, everything. Litecoin at $50. So what you want to do is, folks, if Bitcoin goes bullish, and what this guy says is true, and Bitcoin goes back up to $50,000, and some of these altcoins, you got BNB up to $600, you got Cardano to $1 or $1.50, maybe even $2, Theta at $2 or $3, you got to start taking some profits. So you don't want to just be sitting around waiting for I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin until it hits all-time high again. Well, then you could totally miss out because one bad inflation number or one bad news in the world with the stock market or recession could crash everything. So if you're in Ethereum, for example, and you got most of your Ethereum at $500, you should definitely be taking profits at $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. You want to go all the way up taking profits. You don't know how high we're going to go, but these markets can turn on a dime. So like I said, for me with Cardano, at $1.50, I'd probably take a little bit of profits, then $2 profits, $3, $4, $5. Maybe we'll get up to $5, and then we get the bad news, and we basically just drop, from there. So you want to be taking profits all the way up, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, traditionally, we have the 4-year cycles. Like I said, starting next year, we'll go bullish near the halvening. But think about it, folks. If the halvening is next year, and, but we're also in a full-blown recession, Bitcoin's not going to go up that much. If we're in a full-blown recession, war in Russia, nobody has any money, inflation's gone back up, halvening or not, Bitcoin's not going to go up. Now, this is one possible scenario. This is the Michael Burry scenario. The other scenario is just, next year we go into a bull market. We're in a bull market for another year. Bitcoin goes to $100,000. Cardano goes to $20. That's another scenario too you have to be planning for. But anything could happen. I mean, another scenario is we just basically, this is a dead cat bounce. This is a bear market rally, a fake out. And, tomorrow we're back down to $20,000, and next month we're back down to $17,000, and then basically we lost all the progress we made over the last month. If that happens, for me, I'm just looking to buy cheaper Bitcoin. I'm not selling anything. We haven't pumped up enough to really sell anything. It's not worth it. But you basically have to be open to every scenario. So I'm going to be following that. And like I said, if Bitcoin goes completely bullish, everybody's getting bullish, Bitcoin's pumping up crazy, the stock market's pumping up, just remember, that could end at any time with bad news, with recession fears, and a lot of really smart people. Harry Dent, like I said, Michael Burry, a lot of economists do think we're going into a recession at some point. And we are due for a recession. So just remember to take those profits, folks, if we do end up going bullish. But right now, everything looks okay. I mean, this little dump we're in right now for Bitcoin is fine. I mean, like I said, $22,000 Bitcoin, I think that would be fine too. If we start to hit like 21,000, I'm going to start to worry like, oh, maybe this was just like a dead cat bounce, a bear market rally, and we're going to lose a lot of these gains. But right now, we had to take a little bit of a breather. And of course, we have a lot of news coming out this week with the stock market, with the Fed and all that stuff. So I do expect a volatile week, for sure. So that's that news. Of course, I wanted to remind people that Cardano has that DJED stablecoin coming out this week. They haven't announced the day yet, but a lot of people are really excited about it. So we will keep you updated on that one. Now, if Bitcoin's dumping, it might not affect the Cardano price all that much. That's how it always works out, folks. Like whenever there's like good news for Cardano, then Bitcoin decides to take a dump. But midweek, we could be right back up to $24,000 Bitcoin, and Cardano could be back up to 40 cents, and then the DJED stablecoin comes out, and then we're basically pumping. So you have to be aware of every scenario. All right, and that's pretty much it. Kind of a slow day. Bitcoin's taking that little bit of a chill. Let's see if we can hold above that $23,000 mark. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. If not, I'd still be happy hanging out at 22,000. But anything below that, I might start to get a little bit concerned that, the rally was kind of just like a sucker's rally. But as of right now, I'm still overly bullish, for the next few weeks on Bitcoin. All right, folks, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you later. Like and subscribe.